Hello, how are you? This is Teacher Banda. Sorry, we were supposed to have Zoom. Now, due to network, we failed. So this is the lesson that I had prepared for you. In this content, we're going to look at biology and respiration. Now, what you need to know under this topic is we are going to define what the topic is. We're going to look at the two types. Then we're going to look at the similarities and the differences between respiration in humans and respiration in plants. Away from that one, we're going to look at the end part that talks about the effect of this. So let's start with the first one. If I to see, it's saying, what is respiration? So from the point of view, we have a lot of definitions that are used here. The first two are the ones that you see, or someone else will say it is the process by which glucose is broken down to give us carbon dioxide and the water. But in other cases, you can define that with those ones that you see. So in this case, you need to define your respiration in that context. See, right? Now, after having defined the respiration in that context, what should you know now? The next thing you should focus and know for you to know is, are there any types of respiration? If so, what are these types? So, purely, yes, they are. So the first one is aerobic respiration. This one uses oxygen to convert glucose into energy. Not only that, it is there again to produce carbon dioxide and water. It is most occurs in mitochondrial cells that are responsible for giving us energy. So if I look at this one, it will give you glucose plus oxygen. It will give you carbon dioxide plus water and energy. The other type of respiration that we are going to look at is the opposite of this. Now, in this case, it talks about anaerobic respiration. So this one occurs in absence of oxygen, meaning now the other way around. So in animals, it produces lactic acid, alcohol, and carbon dioxide in plants. It most occurs in cytoplasma where chemical processes take place. So now in this case, glucose will be broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Now, while focusing on this one, we should also look at the similarities and the differences. But let's start with the differences between the two. Then we'll happen to dive in where needed. So meaning in this case, we're going to look at the differences between animals and the plants. So if you see, animals get oxygen from air, meaning the atmosphere. Then plants get oxygen from photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is released all the time. Carbon dioxide is not released during the daytime. So meaning oxygen enters by respiration, but this time oxygen enters by what? Diffusion. There's more ATP being produced in animals, but here there is less ATP being produced there. We'll talk more about ATP. To go further, which we did not explain now, let's look at the effect of this process. Now, this process has a lot of effect. What is the effect of smoking on the human body? So it's going to give you respiration issues. Apart from respiration issues, it's going to give you cardiovascular issues, cancer, pregnant complication, poor oral health. Let me just explain the first two, where it talks about the respiratory issues. So respiratory issues here, it's like to cause you COPD. It's a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, that is COPD, including chronic bronchitis, that is emphysema, meaning you are going to have difficulties in breathing. Cardiovascular problem here deals with the risk of heart diseases such as stroke and hypertension. This reduces oxygen carrying capacity of the body due to the carbon monoxide binding with hemoglobin. Then if you notice, can also cause you cancer. Increased risk of various cancer include lung cancer, mouth cancer, throat cancer, including blood and pancreas cancer. The more you smoke, the danger you become. Immune system, it weakens the response, making the body actually more susceptible to infection. Let's talk about the last one. Reduce or meaning poor oral health. Increase the risk of gum disease, tooth decay, and oral cancer. That's where that one deals with. So with this one now, I'm sure you'll be able to follow up and mind up how everything can happen to be done. If there are any other more question, please let's meet in the next chapter.